Welcome back, my dearest friends. Welcome back to ever so amazing, sexy act of war direct action, where I am playing one of the most underrated games, real-time strategy games out there. An amazing game made by Eugen Systems. Systems? Yeah, something like that. Anywho, those guys. The Eugen is, of course, famous for war game series. Also, the goddamn game hates OBS, so this is a recording for the second time. I'm trying at least. I'm gonna do it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'm gonna just cry like a little bitch. So, moving on. Engagement, no. Operation, yes. So, we have a chapter selection. You can play any chapter in the game. Of course, they strongly recommend because of the storyline, right? We are at the peaceful demonstration at the moment, so that's the one we'll be playing. There are 33 missions in the game. While most of these missions tend to be short, specifically up to the point where up to mission 7, which is San Francisco. That's the point where we actually start building stuff. Otherwise, most missions tend to be a little bit shorter. But in the end of the day, just think about it, how many games have 33 missions? Considering that we mostly play as the US Army or the Task Force Stalin, the Consortium is not the thing you will be playing with at all. The High Treason allows that, if I'm mistaken, so there is that. So on peaceful demonstration, let's begin. Let's hope this actually is recording, because I'm getting a little bit tired of awesome games not recording and shittier games not recording, like Company of Heroes. God damn it. Anywho, let's launch this thing, and of course it gives you an option on what difficulty to play. We have, of course, as always, 3 options. We're gonna go on very hard, as always, the Special Forces, and let's launch this beautiful thing. Of course, this is with the same cutscenes we've seen at the end of the previous video, but hell's mother hopping bells. I'm gonna just keep it that way now that I can just reload any of these specific shorter missions. You know, one go, one purpose for the cane, no, not for the cane for cane. Oh, I don't have juice. God damn it.
Tell me it was an accident. I didn't think so. What do we got?
High level of chatter, sir. We think it was deliberate.
Mr. President, we're on it. My troops are mobilizing as we speak.
Lock down Houston now, Kelly. We've got the World Energy Forum next week.
We're prepared for it, sir.
No, you're not, General. For London, we need the best. I'm activating Task Force Talon.
Sir, all due respect. Richter and his men are outside the normal chain of command.
He's the National Security Advisor. It's his call. I want hourly updates on this, Robert.
I'll have the task force on the ground in London in 12 hours. They're a direct action team. They can handle anything that comes their way, Mr. President.
Good. Let's do it. How things looking down there, Jefferson?
Not good, sir. It's the biggest goddamn traffic jam I've ever seen.
It's not Libya, huh?
Hell no, sir. Not exactly.
I'll meet you in place before the attendees get there. Any chance things are gonna get moving?
That's a negative, sir.
Then lose the vans and have your men proceed to the waypoint on foot.
Roger that. Open up, guys.
Jefferson, take your men through to the mall and proceed from there to the palace gates.
Roger that, sir. We're on it. Hey, Major.
Yes, Jefferson?
Why is this task force playing rent-a-cop?
Short version? Because we do what the National Security Advisor tells us to, right?
Right. What about Kazim?
Irrelevant. What happened in Houston was someone else's work, and if that someone is here at the Energy Forum as well, just keep your eyes open, Jefferson. Move out.
And welcome back, my dear friends, welcome back. Finally playing one of the best freaking games out there. In all honesty, I love this game, and first and foremost, look at the amount of units on the map. Look at the amount of everything on the map. Just OMG. When the first time I played this beautiful thing, it was like, how the hell do you achieve that without killing my computer? But honestly, the amount of love the Eugen actually gave to this game is unprecedented, considering the time this game came out. 2005 actually the game came out. I was like 2003, 2004 last time. It's 2005 actually, if I'm not mistaken again. But usually am, so there is that. So again, amazing amount of detail. What I adore is the right proportions for the vehicles, units, and buildings. You know, finally a RTS that actually has a proper proportions for everything. I mean, hell's mother of bells, how many games you've seen that before from 2005 and even later down the line, but specifically from 2000, before 2005, you know, everything is like huge dudes and small buildings and shit. I love that, like, holy crap. And again, the amount of money they probably needed just to make this game, considering the live action cutscenes and all that. The High Treason doesn't have a live action cutscenes. It has the CGI cutscenes, some of them, and most of them are in-game engine cutscenes, or at least pre-rendered one, or however they're called actually. Look right there. No. So anywho, moving on, we're playing as a task force town. This is actually, for last time we were playing as we had the Delta Force, which specifically a unique unit, well, the special unit for the US Army side. This is a task force talent units, and they come with a beautiful amount of fancy stuff, fancy tech. They are specifically drone technology, all the new sci-fi shit you would expect. But let's see what Eva is telling us. I'm gonna call her Eva, but hell's mother no, Eve, whatever. Task Force Commando, the most basic unit for the Task Force Talon. Very effective against infantry. Comes with the XM177E1 556mm full auto rifle, which again it's experimental rifle. Medium cavalry jacket, can ambush, crawl, capture, and occupy buildings. And again, just the addition, as I said previously, that you have actually all these details on screen like this. Sadly doesn't show you in I think at least maybe I'm wrong, I could be wrong, but I think when you buy units it shows when you go over the unit or something. I can't remember actually, but as you can see, when we press on any of these units, it just says Task Force Commando. It doesn't tell you exactly what they have and all that on them. But again, that little detail that they actually allow you in single player at least to see exactly what they have is such a beautiful thing. And again, attention to the detail. So again, zooming in a little bit to see our bad boys, bad girls, and you can see them, they're all full black thingy. So moving on. Now, of course, there was Act of Aggression game that was supposed to be a spiritual sequel to this game. It kind of worked, it kind of didn't for most people. I actually enjoyed it. It had also the 3 sides, if I'm not mistaken. But then, you know, like, the thing about this game specifically, what I don't like is that there are 2 US factions and 1 Russian faction. You know, I prefer if there were more diverse type of factions than what you have here. You know, basically Task Force Talon is just a branch of US Army something, right? So, you know, special branch, if you will. And I was like, you know, just it's not that fun. I mean, even though they're my favorite faction in the game, though, you know, Consortium has that beautiful nod feeling, and US Army, who wants to play with the US Army, for fuck's sake. They're just basic US Army you've seen hundreds of thousands of fucking times. Though they do have some special things, like Abrams that can actually have some cool force field around their tanks and all that. I mean, well, down the line we shall see them anyway. We'll be playing with those.
Cheers, mate. Now stand aside, I'm coming through. Your papers seem to be in order. Good to have you here, sir.
Hey, Jefferson. Take your position at the front of the Buckingham Palace.
Roger that, Major.
Welcome back, my dear friends. Sorry about that. As per usual, I always have a few trolls around, but not really. They're actually goblins. Maybe. So, continuing on, last time I was actually stopping here because I was interrupted, and that was 58 days ago, but not really. Maybe it was. So anyway, continuing on, we have felt what evil we have here, and as again, just how beautiful this game truly is. Also, the game has a true line of sight, which you would actually notice, for instance, in now Company of Heroes 2, for instance, a true line of sight that was usually non-existent in these types of RTS games.
So far, so good, sir. Large crowds, but the Brits seem to have control.
And of course, being that this game is a huge chunk of cutscenes, well, especially in the beginning, means that I don't have to talk overly too much, I would say. And of course, the game is like a small goddamn movie in the end of the day, and considering there is also a High Treason expansion, it's gonna be bloody amazing. Though, as I said, the High Treason does not have live-action cutscenes.
Take position in front of the palace near the Queen's Guard.
Roger that, sir. Taking position now.
Utilizing trees, also a welcome addition. You get these forested areas, units gain a boost in demarche and sexuality against the enemy Germans. Very good stuff. Again, mostly very much unique compared if you compare to generals and classical CNC games. You can see we cannot see anything beyond these cars here, these vans, because of the true line of sight. So the enemy could be right here, for instance. We will not be able to see because we not have direct line of sight. Again, a very nice addition, a beautiful actually addition that usually goes unnoticed by most people. So anyway, moving on.
Lie low, Jefferson, and tell the men to look smart.
Enjoy the cutscene.
Chamberlain's orders. Lots of eyes on us here today.
Sir, when are we gonna get back to our real jobs?
Enough. I'll get back to you when the limos arrive. Stand by.
We're in position, sir.
Today we're in London, where the World Energy Forum is about to begin. Thousands of protesters have taken to the streets to demand
The native look a little restless, sir.
executives from every major oil company are in attendance at the Buckingham Palace for an audience.
ETA 2 minutes until the U.S. delegates arrive. Keep an eye on the perimeter, Jefferson. And let me know when Kingman shows up.
They're here, sir.
Number one should be Yegor Zakharov, Russian CEO of Sir.
Yes, Jefferson?
Kingman's in number 2.
That's our man. Have you guys keep a close eye on him.
How's the situation on the ground, Major?
Area is secure, sir. They're just entering the plaza now. Lock your weapons, men. We don't want any accidents.
Roger that. Weapons tight, guys.
gunshots reported in the plaza. We're evacuating the attendees.
No, Major. Let the bodyguards take care of them. You get your man into the plaza right...
Sir, the attendees are our main priority.
Help those civilians, for Christ's sakes, Richter. They're sitting ducks out there. Do it!
Shut those tangos down, Jefferson. Do whatever it takes.
10-4!
Go, go, go!
And so we begin again, fighting the evil Germans. And of course, the thing about the consortium soldiers is that they can actually go into two modes. They can become grenadiers, or they can become RPG personas. So let's move attack command as per usual. Now the game is much more tactical than your irregular RTS game of the time, and specifically CNC type of a game, if you will. As I said previously, the units do have a value of swords. You can build a lot of units, but they are easily killed, dependable on what shoots at them. So we have a bunch of troops right here, and these guys actually have of course the AK-74 gunner, but they of course have the minimal protection compared to our friends here, our task force Stalin units. But the thing about the consortium is that the consortium has, again, just this basic trooper can become an RPG or grenadier. Grenadiers alone have an area of effect, can easily kill these guys in the area, understandable. One dude down, our first task force Talon soldier goes down, but again, comparing the huge chunk of the enemies, the regular soldiers, we lose only one soldier to that. So again, very, there is definite difference. I don't know where Jefferson is going, but he is all over the place, it would seem. And down the line, I think we'll be getting additional hero. Now, comparing this game to, for instance, of course, generals is understandable, you know. But this game is way more interesting.
Damn it. Vega, give me a pause on that vehicle. Jefferson, report.
Only light injuries, sir. 7 tangos went down by my count. Obviously suicidal. Not professional, if you ask me.
So we have ambulances. Of course, there are the troops that can heal other troops, but well, not really troops. They're always vehicles that can repair or heal units. They've very much removed certain annoyances in High Treason. The High Treason added, of course, understandable as an expansion, should add a huge chunk of new units. Upgrades for the task force Talon, for instance, they become super soldiers. Should say they get the future warrior bullcrap outfits. They look basically like a dark stormtrooper or black stormtroopers. Very beautiful, I must say. Again, those little addition, but again, considering that they concentrate on infantry, that to me is the most important aspect in any game, compared to the vehicles and all that, is always a nice addition. And again, some annoyances have been completely removed, specifically when you destroy neutral buildings and all that. They are all constantly on fire in direct action, and they kind of obscure your view. Not in like this direct view thing, but an actual view for you. And they removed that, like it was so much on fire that you just couldn't see everything around the place. And when you destroy so many buildings and there are so many urban warfare combat maps, it's just annoying. And thankfully in High Treason they removed that. Of course, High Treason also added as understandable with Eugen, they added submarines and battleships of sorts.
Heads up, Lieutenant. Keep me posted on any further activity.
Now here come Vans. The Vans can actually kind of really rape your soldiers. They're much more damaging to your soldiers than you would expect. Well, not really. You would actually expect it for them to be raping your soldiers.
Sir, I picked up a feed on the Mi-5 chopper. They've spotted a limo of feed wash to the north of the plaza.
Go check it out, Jefferson. There's no reason for it to stop this close to the action. Vega, get me a close-up visual.
Roger that, sir. It's Kingman's vehicle.
And as I said, utilizing, for instance, ambush tactic in like this, it tells you where you see red, green. It tells you exactly where you should position your soldiers. And previously, as I said in the first video, is that all these things have a value. You position your units inside, the vehicles can't really see well inside the forest compared to infantry. When they encounter you, you gain additional damage and invisibility mode almost, but it tells your units to hide to do more damage. But again, because of the true line of sight, you cannot directly see stuff inside these forested areas, which again is that additional beautiful thing about this game that most people will not notice. But there you go, little things do matter. Also, when you see the animation, when you tell them to go, like we're going like now forward, right? We go backwards, some of them will actually go backwards instead of actually changing their rotation. I like that very so much, especially in the battles. They have specific animations for that battle scenes, and I like that. Again, kind of similar to Company of Heroes, as the Company of Heroes has its own things with the infantry, making all those beautiful animations. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Next time, a lot more drugs, and enjoy the cutscene.
I think we've located Kingman's vehicle, sir.
Any sign of life?
That's a negative, sir.
How's the situation, Major? Still no sign of Kingman or Zakharov, sir.
CIA's generating intel on the kidnapping now. They should have something for you in a couple of hours.
They'll be dead by then. Vega, find them. Now.
I'm on it.
I'll get back to you, sir.
Bingo.
What do you got?
Look, that's a sailing watch. The Celestial M9 comes with a built-in GPS. I'll triangulate the transponder signal. We can pinpoint his location to within 15 feet. He owns a yacht. Look who he sails with. Mr. National Security Advisor himself, Robert Chamberlain.
Nice work, Lieutenant. Use you at the farm.
They can't have me. There's interference. Okay, we've narrowed it down. He's here, here, or here. We've either got him or we've got his watch.